What's up, everybody? You're watching JoeBox TV. So you probably heard about the massive YouTube fight between KSI and Logan Paul. I want to give you guys my official prediction here. Both of these guys have over 18 million subscribers on YouTube. Two of the very best in the YouTube community. Not just because of their following, but because they have the guts to sell things in the ring. The press conferences have been pretty ridiculous. The trash talk has been over the top and really hyped this thing up. And now they're getting ready to come together and face each other on August 25th. For KSI, he started out as a gamer. He's also had success as a rapper. And most notably, this past February, he had a boxing match against fellow British YouTuber Joe Weller. Both of the guys, for YouTubers, I thought put on an excellent show. You could tell they were in phenomenal condition and could really handle themselves. Weller came out, landed some flush left hooks on KSI, but it didn't really take long for KSI to adjust. He wisely used his height and his reach to pepper Weller with that stiff jab, and would sometimes catch him coming in inside with the uppercut. I thought KSI showed great poise, especially with this being his first time on this kind of stage in boxing. Weller continued to come forward in the second round, but he kept eating shots. He showed his toughness, but by round 3, Weller was basically exhausted, and KSI capitalized. Picked him apart with jabs, followed by those looping overhand rights around the guard. Weller got a couple of standing 8 counts, then KSI finished the job. After that fight, KSI immediately called out the Paul brothers. And then, after a couple months of beef, it was decided that KSI would fight Logan Paul. And KSI's younger brother, Deji, would fight Logan's younger brother, Jake Paul. Both of these fights will happen Saturday, August 25th in Manchester, England. Now that we've talked about KSI, let's talk about Logan Paul. Logan Paul has appeared in a series of TV shows, movies, YouTube vlogs, and although often controversial, Logan Paul has truly become this megastar in the entertainment world, and he has an impressive wrestling background as a teenager. I think that will help him to a certain degree, having been on that kind of stage. That said, boxing is a whole nother science, and he remains relatively inexperienced as a boxer. There has been some footage of his recent boxing progression. I wasn't terribly impressed with his mitt work, but I must say, there was a leaked sparring session. And in that clip, he was shown knocking a seemingly heavier opponent down, just with one quick left hook. So you can tell not only by that footage, but also by his body type, he's gonna pack more punching power than KSI. Listen, this fight right here, it truly shows the marketability of the sweet science, and it shows how much interest this sport can draw. I mean, just look at the numbers on KSI's fight against Joe Weller. That video has over 14 million views. A fight between these guys with this kind of following is bound to outdo that. I'm not even going to guess what numbers this could do. Like I said, not only does it show the marketability of boxing, but it could also lead to more people coming into boxing. I understand there's plenty of boxers that work their entire career and aren't getting the same exposure. I get that. However, there is a flip side to it that I think a lot of critics are missing. This is going to draw more attention to boxing because, again, these guys have millions upon millions of subscribers. So maybe this inspires at least a portion of them and brings some more competition to the sport of boxing. Now for my predictions. For the main event, KSI and Logan Paul. Logan has a 2-inch height advantage and is also the naturally bigger man. So KSI might not have as much success fighting the way he fought against the smaller Joe Weller. There is going to have to be some exchanges at close quarters. However, despite Logan maybe having an advantage in strength, I'm not sure how well Logan's strength will translate to punching power. I've been in the ring with strong, stocky guys before who don't have devastating punching power. Like I said, I think Logan does have the advantage in power. I just don't think it will be as big an advantage as people are making it out to be. On the other hand, in terms of hand speed, KSI clearly has the advantage, and at the end of the day, I think there will be a lot of close exchanges on the inside. And when that happens, usually the guy with the quicker hands wins the exchanges. So I'm going with KSI by a razor close decision, split decision. A draw wouldn't surprise me, but I'm going with KSI 4-2. I think one judge will favor the harder, cleaner shots of Logan, and the other two will favor KSI's higher rate of activity and number of punches landed. One last point. In addition to KSI already having fought against Joe Weller, he's also had sparring sessions with elite super middleweights like Badou Jack and Chris Eubank Jr., so I think his ring IQ is going to be the difference. Now for the co-feature, Deji against Jake Paul. Let me say, Deji is 5'8". Jake Paul is listed as 6 foot, but again, I don't think that's accurate at all. I wouldn't be fooled by it. And when you see them face to face here, Deji and Jake are pretty close in height. And mind you, Jake Paul is wearing heels in this picture. I have another source that says Jake Paul is 5'10" 3/4, which I believe seems more accurate. Now, everywhere I look, I see that most people are picking Jake Paul and think he'll win easily. They think he's a far superior fighter, a far superior athlete to Deji, and is going to be the much better boxer. However, after seeing some of the footage of his heavy bag work, his mitt work, I'm not seeing it. I'm not impressed. Not trying to sound like a hater, but he throws arm punches, no snap on those punches, and he just seems very raw. He just seems like he's more flash than substance. Now, Deji has not shown a whole lot of his training, but he has shown some clips. A couple months ago, he looked terrible. Now, he looks much stronger. I see a guy with much better head movement, and he's improved by a mile since the first time I saw a clip of him boxing. KSI's trainer said himself that Deji's movement is just as good as KSI, so that's saying something. And listening to Deji talk about this fight, I just think he wants it so much more than Jake does. It seems as though he feels he's been betrayed because he's portrayed as this huge underdog who no one thinks is going to win. And I think his will to win is going to overcome here. I'm going with Deji to win a majority decision over Jake Paul. That's right, I said it. Now, to close this out, the fight will be streamed live on YouTube this Saturday, August 25th for $10. And there is an official website where you can also buy the fight if the YouTube video isn't available in your country. I believe in the US it starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Hope this turns out to be a great show. I'm sure it will be. You know, as a boxing fan for the majority of my life and an amateur boxer, I'm excited to see this big of an event on this stage for the sport of boxing. I think in some ways this actually helps the sport. Like I said, giving it more exposure. Let me know what you guys think. Who you got? KSI or Logan Paul? Deji or Jake Paul? I want to know in the comments below. Until next time, I'll have a post-fight review for this. JoeBox TV, out.